Navroz Mubarak from the Smiley Council for Southeastern USA and the Children's Museum of Atlanta. Navroz is a festival celebrated in many Muslim communities and cultures. In many communities, it marks the beginning of a new year and the start of spring. It signifies a time for expressing our gratitude for blessings and an outlook of hope and optimism towards the future. This beautiful tile design that we are going to recreate is from Iran, and it was provided to us by the Aga Khan Museum's Play and Learn programming. The Aga Khan Museum is located in Toronto and provides an insight into Islamic civilizations and cultures that bind us. It is a place for learning and mutual understanding. You can find a huge variety of activities for kids and also interactive experiences that will help provide you with a greater appreciation for art in Muslim civilizations and beyond. Okay, so let's go ahead and recreate the tile. As you saw in our image, we have a floral design. In particular, we have irises. So we're going to create a tile with an iris, starting with a square sheet of paper. So I have here a 5-inch by 5-inch paper. We're going to start in the upper right-hand corner. So we're going to start by drawing the flower part, and then we'll draw the leaves and the stem. So in the upper right-hand corner, we want to find a spot that's not too far up in the corner, but just a little bit towards that, in that direction. So start with our first petal, which is going to look kind of like an ellipse or an egg or a lemon, just something that is a little bit oval. Okay, so this is our first petal. Then we're going to draw 2 more petals behind it, but we're only going to draw half of it. So on the right-hand side, watch how I make only half of that petal, and it's as if it's hiding right behind my first petal. All right, then I will do the same thing on the left-hand side. So I'm going to make my half petal kind of hiding right behind it. All right, then we're going to make 2 petals, again, 1 on each side. This time the petals will look like they're falling. So starting right here at the bottom, you want to draw again that egg shape, but we're going to draw it in the other direction. So it'll look like it is falling from that flower. Okay. Repeat the same exact petal on the left-hand side. So again, point this ellipse down. Okay, then we will go ahead and make a V shape at the bottom to kind of show that this petal is falling. So it gives it the illusion that I've got part of it on the back side, and then I've got the petal now showing me its front or inside part. We have some lines we're going to make in here. So these 2 petals that are falling, lines represent the inside of the flower. So I'm going to make a line that's going halfway and then down this petal. Okay? I'm going to do the same with these 2 side petals. And that's again because the line shows, okay, this is a petal where I actually see the inside part. Whereas this one here, it's the back side of that petal. Okay? Then we're going to make 2 grass looking blades at the top. So in between these 2 petals that you've created, you're going to make 1 on the left and 1 on the right. Okay, then we're going to add a very thin line right in the middle at the top. And at the end of that, we want to put 2 small leaves. Okay, and again, we're going to put lines in the middle to represent, okay, these are leaves. So the use of irises actually as garden plants dates back more than 3,000 years in Egypt and Syria. But they were growing naturally even earlier than that. So it has various meanings all across cultures. So irises date way back. All right, then we're going to go ahead and add our stem and leaves at the bottom. Right? So for the stem, I want you to think about, I'm starting at the bottom, but I want to meet kind of close to the lower left-hand corner. And I'm going to curve the stem a little bit. So I'm going to start simple line, slightly curved, and then it goes all the way to the bottom. So now we're going to add 2 leaves. We've got 1 leaf kind of in the middle of this line that we've created, 1 leaf on one side of that line, and then we're going to make a image of that leaf on the other side. All right, now again for leaves, usually lines kind of help us identify that these are leaves, right? So we'll put little lines in the middle, right? And then right below it, we're gonna add just very thin leaves. And this is just more for decorative purposes and art, the composition of different shapes that go along. All right, very nice. So this tile was actually a bigger part of a panel that decorated inside of a palace. So wouldn't it be pretty inside of a palace with like this floral design? Okay, so we're gonna finish up with, now remember, this is part of a larger panel, right? So these designs are kind of building into different tiles. So we're going to make at the bottom here 2 blades of grass, one on the right and one on the left. And it'll look like it's coming up from another tile, right? So we're only making like the top part. So you're going to start with a curve, the same direction as your stem for this iris. Okay, and then bring it back down. So it looks like the top of a blade of grass. And again, we'll put a line in the middle here. Right, and then we'll repeat on the left-hand side. So we're going to go ahead and make another curve, but this time it's in the opposite direction of your stem. And bring it down to double that curve. All right, excellent. So we're actually done with our iris. Now it's time to color it in. And the way it's colored on the tile is it's actually 2 to 3 colors. So very, very minimal when it comes to coloring, right? Pick one color, and with that one color, we're going to color certain petals and certain parts of the leaf. Okay, so first we're gonna start with just this big middle petal that we have. With your one color, go ahead and fill that in. Okay, next we're gonna color the 2 petals that were falling down. So if you have like a darker marker, you can always go back and highlight those lines that you made so you can see the middle lines that we have. Same on the other side. We're gonna go ahead and fill in. All right, and with that same color, so like I said, there are multiple places where we're gonna use the same color. We're going to color just half, the top half of each leaf. So I've got the top half of each. And then we're going to color just one of these tiny leaves that we have. And then again, the top half of each of our blades of grass on each side. So you can find this and so much other cool Islamic art at the museum. So if you're ever in that area, if you're ever in Toronto, don't forget to stop by the Aga Khan Museum to learn more about the arts of Muslim civilizations. There's a lot of beautiful art. Okay, so that's all we're doing with one color. And then I want you to pick a second color. Pick your favorite colors here. Pick a second color, and with this color, the way it's colored on the tile, you're going to use that second single color to color everything you have on the top of your iris. And we're going to leave the 2 petals that you see the half petals that we drew behind our first one. We're going to leave that as white. Okay, and then we want to color in this V, and we're going to color in the rest of our leaves and blades of grass. Okay. So the contrast of the colors, so notice on the tile, it's very simple, right? The use of color is simple. It's just the way it's composed, it makes it a very beautiful tile. Okay, excellent. So now that we have our tile, we can hold up our beautiful tiles. Thank you for joining us from the Children's Museum of Atlanta. And Navroz Mubarak.